You're tired of wasting time on workouts that just don't deliver results. Or you don't know how to get started. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do in this video. How to build a fitness routine that actually works for you. I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know, from setting realistic goals to creating a workout plan that's effective and sustainable for you, as well as getting you the results you're after. So let's start off with setting realistic goals. Now, this is the key foundation of any good fitness routine. You need to know what your body's capable of and also what it's not capable of yet, and you need to set your goals accordingly. By having clear goals, it gives you a clear objective of what you're trying to achieve, and therefore it will help you on how to get there. Think about a personal trainer. If they were setting your goals for you, they wouldn't throw you right in the deep end. They know what you're capable of and know what you should be able to achieve in a short period of time, or any length of time for that matter. So that's really crucial. You have to know what you're capable of and what you can be capable of, but not just yet. So it's knowing your capabilities and also what you're not capable of yet. Now, that's really important, as if you go right in the deep end and start going really, over the top with what you think you can do, you can start damaging your body. So that's really important to set realistic goals, as that's going to be the only way to progress in the quickest way, but also in the safest way as well. If you don't know what you're capable of, there's only one way to find out, and that's test it. So let's say you want to get really good at push-ups. Do as many push-ups as you can. Let's say you manage to do 20. A realistic goal would not be 80 push-ups the next day. As you can tell, that's 60 more than what you're capable of today. And by having that thought that you can do way more than what you can, like I say, you can do more harm to your body than good. Now, when you set realistic goals, let's say you did 20 today, and a realistic goal may be 22, 23 tomorrow, as it's not overloading your body with more than it can handle, but it's still getting progressively better. And that's what you want to do. You want to do progressive overload and not overload straight away, as that will, like I say, damage your body and it will do more harm than good. One of the most important things I've found when setting goals is you have to use a time frame as well, as when you add time into the equation, it makes you achieve those goals a lot more efficiently and accurately as well. So let's say you did 20 push-ups today, going back to that same analogy, and you want to do 22 by tomorrow. That's a time frame. 24 hours tomorrow, whatever you want to call it, that's still a time frame. But when you say, I want to do 22 push-ups, well, when? Is that going to be in a month? Because in a month, hopefully you should be able to do more than 22 push-ups. Or let's say you wanted to do it in the next year, then that's not really, you're not progressing, you're just staying the same with only 2 push-ups more than what you did today in a year from now. And so, like I say, adding time into the equation is one of the most important things. I can't stress this enough. Really important that you add time into the equation. As when you add the time, like I say, you can achieve your goals a lot more efficiently. Using time also gives you something else to work towards. So rather than just working towards those 22 push-ups, you work towards 22 push-ups in one day. And that really speeds up the process of you progressing in your fitness journey. I'm not saying don't push yourself, because yes, of course you should, only when it's safe to do so. It's not about overloading your body with something you know it can't handle. One type of training is hybrid training, and this is where you combine 2 or more types of training together. So let's say CrossFit and boxing, you add those 2 types of training together to get good overall fitness, and this would be mainly upper body work. As we know from boxing, use your arms a lot, from CrossFit also use your arm, but mainly upper body. So if you want to get a strong upper body, then hybrid training, if you choose the right sports or fitness types, then yes, that could work for you. That's one option. Now, another type is fitness technology. Those smartwatches you get that track your progress, they're also a good way to make you improve in your fitness journey, as you can track your calories, steps, how far you've walked, how far you've ran, all things like that, and that can really help you to understand where you're at and where you want to be. Even functional fitness is a great way to have a great fitness routine, as this involves things like squatting, twisting, lunging, things that you use in every single day tasks. Whether you're an office worker or a construction worker, these things will help improve your fitness and also make you move a bit more, improving your overall health as well. Functional fitness is also a brilliant way to avoid injuries such as sprains, as when you move more, your muscles are more flexible, as if you weren't moving, they wouldn't be, they'd be more stiff, more rigid. But as you're moving a lot, then let's say you bend down to pick a pencil up. Let's say you drop the pencil at school. You pick that up, rather than maybe pulling your arm or pulling your bicep tendon or whatever it may be, then by moving a lot and just doing functional fitness, by moving like this, you know, daily activities, that will really help to reduce your risk of injury in not serious things like dropping a pen in school, or maybe in more high-level sports such as running, cross-country, things like that. So that can really be one massive benefit of functional fitness. Like I say, fitness for you, it doesn't have to be really intense, really grueling. It can be, absolutely. You can make it however hard you want, but it's about just getting movement in and exercising every day consistently. Now, please don't forget your rest and recovery period. Now, this is really important as it allows your body to reset and let your muscles grow and repair themselves. Now, rest doesn't always mean sitting down and doing nothing. It could be things like using a foam roller, as this still allows your body to reset and recover, but is also keeping you still moving and allowing your muscles and giving them the best chance possible to grow back and repair stronger, as well as keeping you on track long term. You don't even have to try these two methods that I mentioned earlier, of functional fitness and hybrid workouts. There are only two types of training. You've got many more, such as plyometric, you know, fartlek training. There's absolutely loads of types of training. But yes, you don't even have to use them. You can do your own thing completely, and I'll show you how to build your own fitness routine, and that's what I'm about to show you now. Now let's get to the core of this video, and that's building your fitness routine. The key here is balance, consistency and variety. First, you need to decide how many days a week you'd like to do exercise. Now, I'd recommend doing between 4 and 6 times a week. Find what you want to improve on, whether that be overall fitness or one specific muscle group. You can even do an upper body and lower body split. So for example, you do lower body for 3 days and you do your upper body for another 3 days out of the 6 days of your week. And you've decided you want to do 6 days of exercise. And that's that part of the routine sorted for you. But of course, feel free to do this however you'd like. So you want to know how often you want to exercise, you know what you want to work on. Now you've got two options. You can either focus on endurance or you can focus on strength. Now these two are completely different. Let me explain. This works for any muscle on any part of the body. So let's talk endurance. Endurance is the ability of the body to keep going for long periods of time without rest. So for example, running a marathon would be an example of an endurance-based fitness routine. Now, why is this the case? Well, because running a marathon, 26.3 miles, I believe, is a demanding task for the body and the cardiovascular system, which means your heart and circulatory system. Now, by running a marathon, your body needs to keep going for a long time, as the average time for a marathon is probably about 2.5 hours. Now, that's really important that your body doesn't release all your energy at once, as after the first few hundred meters you'd be tired. So it's important that you know how to release energy slowly but consistently as well. I'm going to go back to this push-up analogy, and I'll use that for both endurance and strength. So let's say you wanted to do 100 push-ups. That would be an example of muscular endurance, as that's a lot of push-ups in one go without rest. And like I said, for the marathon, that's the case because your body needs to keep going for long periods of time without the rest in between. And that's great for anything you're trying to do that involves long endurance training, such as like the high rocks competition. That would be an example of where you need muscular endurance rather than strength. Also, strength does come into it, but muscular endurance is the most important one. Now, strength is the body's ability to apply maximum force against a resistance. Now, this is really important if you were to do things like 100-meter sprints or weightlifting or anything like this. Now, as I say, I'm going to go back to the push-up analogy. With the endurance example, I used 100 push-ups. Now, that is a lot of push-ups, and you'd need muscular endurance for that, like I said. But with strength, let's say you wanted to do 5 push-ups with a 10-kilogram weighted vest on you. That would be an example of strength, as your body's not working for a long period of time, but it's able to apply maximum force against a resistance within a short period of time. Let's say you wanted to include cardio in your routine. Now, cardio is really important for overall body health and health of your heart and circulatory system. Now, you'll notice the benefits of this in every single day life, such as walking from home to work or running from the bus to school. Anything like that you'll notice in every single day life. And maybe you're not trying to include cardio in your routine, but let's say you are, and that's what I'm about to talk about now. But before you start panicking, no, it doesn't mean you need to spend days and hours on a treadmill. That's not the case at all. An example could be a HIIT workout, which stands for high intensity interval training. This is short bursts of intense activity followed by periods of rest. And that's where the name high intensity interval training comes from, as the intervals are the periods of rest. There are two main things that this helps. Now that's fat loss and cardiovascular health. Now let's say you wanted to get better at your endurance, or maybe you're recovering from an injury. Well, one thing I'd recommend is steady state cardio. This is a moderate cardio, such as jogging, swimming or biking, and like I said, this is great for recovery and also building endurance. Even if you built the world's best fitness routine, that would still only be half the battle, as the other 50% comes from the... I know I stress on this a lot, but it's really important that this will determine how far you go in your fitness journey. Like I said, you can have the best plan in the world, but if you don't show up consistently, you won't get the results you're after. Track your progress, and no, this doesn't mean standing on the scales every morning to see how much weight you've lost or perhaps gained. It's about doing things such as see how many push-ups you can do, how many sit-ups you can do. This will help you to understand the rate of your progression and how much quicker you can progress to the next goal you've set. You can also change what you're doing. If the same routine you've been doing for 3 years now is getting really boring and really repetitive, then change it to something else. So maybe you're doing 50 push-ups and 20 sit-ups, let's say that's your routine. Why not start with sit-ups first and then add some squats in the middle and add, you know, jumping jacks and loads of things, and that will just change it up and also make it a bit more interesting. And if you can change it while adding more, that will also improve your overall health. Even if it feels more fun, you're doing more, and that will improve your fitness overall. Putting all that together then, I'm about to build a fitness routine right in front of you now, so you get an example and what this might look like in the real world and might help you out in your current situation. So, what do I want to work on? I'll think to myself, that's my abdominals, okay? So how many sit-ups can I do today? Today I did 20 sit-ups. Right, brilliant. So do I want to focus on endurance or strength? I want to focus on endurance, so I want to be able to do more sit-ups. Okay, so now I've done 20 sit-ups today and I want to work on endurance. What can I do? Let me build a fitness plan based on that. So first, I'd start off with doing crunches, as they're only half sit-ups, but you hold at the top for 2 seconds. That will increase your endurance and also ability to hold positions for a longer period of time. That will help me to increase my endurance, like I said before, and also it will also, you know, increase my strength, but mainly endurance. So I want to increase endurance, and I've started doing that by doing crunches. Now let me set a goal. I did 15 crunches today, each with 2 seconds at the top, so that's 30 seconds. Now I want to be able to do 25 crunches next week, progressing every single day, trying to do more every single day. That's definitely a realistic goal, and one maybe you can try to be working towards. So I've increased my goal size, and also I've increased my endurance by doing crunches. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing that. Once I've finished and stopped doing my crunches, I feel like it's getting a bit repetitive and a bit boring. So like I said, change it up. So now I'm going to do a hollow body hold. And if you don't know what that is, that's when you lay on your back and lift your feet and arms off the floor. Now, this is great for building endurance, like I said, as you're lifting both your feet and arms off the floor for a long period of time. I can do that for 30 seconds today. Okay, great. So what's my goal going to be? My goal is going to be, I want to be able to do 40 seconds by the end of next week. Now, 10 seconds may not seem like a lot, but trust me, when you're doing a hollow body hold, 10 seconds feels like an eternity. And so that's definitely a realistic goal, and one that you can be working towards if that's your goal as well. So there we have it. That's my fitness routine and plan for my abdominals that I want to grow. And you could keep going on forever and keep changing it up and keep changing your muscle group to eventually you have that shape that you've always been after. If you have any questions or you think I haven't covered anything clearly enough, please feel free to ask me any questions in the comments and I'll try and get back to them as soon as humanly possible. But we'll wrap the video up. So remember to take it one step at a time and I'll see you in the next one.